The Curses and the Covenants, A History Weaver Mystery, Book 2, by Connie Worden, read by the author. Chapter 7. I'd forced myself not to drag my feet about submitting a resume to the school district that Beaver Row was part of, and late the next week after I'd sent it in, my phone rang. Unknown number, with a Beaver Row prefix. Had to be a school board member. My adrenaline started pumping. I hated everything about the job so far. And everything about it so far was submitting a resume and having my phone ring. Maybe this was a bad idea. Regardless, I had to answer. A brisk female voice on the other end said, "Angie Lyons?" Why did her voice have a military ring to it? Probably a teacher herself at some time in her life, the voice of commanding authority. A voice I lacked. "Yes, speaking," I said, sounding a little squeakier than I would have liked. "You don't know me, but this is Julia Santorini with the Beaver Valley School District. We received your resume and we'd like you to come in for an interview. Are you available during the afternoon on Monday?" "Yes, certainly, anytime." "Great. Well, let's say 2 o'clock. We're seeing a few other candidates that day, so that's only an approximate time." "Okay, no problem. I'll be there at 2. Or a little before, if you like." "At the school? At the high school?" "Yes, that's right. Just come right to the principal's office." "That'll be a first." I couldn't keep myself from joking. Silence on the other end. I didn't push the joke further. "Are you living here now, or will you have to travel for the interview?" she asked, ignoring my last comment. "I'm in Beaver Row for a while, considering a move back. Of course, I'd be moving back if I was hired by the school district." "Right. Well, nice you're on the spot for a follow-up interview, if there is one, I mean." I tried not to take the offhand remark personally. Of course, one interview didn't guarantee another. She was just being practical and businesslike. Julia Santorini was nothing if not businesslike. "We'd like to have a decision made before the end of the school year, so we're all set up for next school year before summer vacation. How soon would you need to know our decision in regard to giving notice to your present employers and so forth? Is the beginning of June soon enough?" "I'm self-employed at the moment. I write books." "Oh, right. I did see that in your file. Yes, very impressive. A real live author in our midst. I'll be excited to meet you Monday." If that was her excited tone, well, not everyone was capable of gushing. Julia Santorini did not appear to have that capacity. I didn't myself. "Likewise," I said, as close to a gush as I could muster. On the finding a place to live front, I'd closely inspected the motorhome and deemed it dwellable. Maybe not long-term, but at least for now. And Ma and I were busily crunching numbers with Uncle Jim, Sarah's dad, married to my Auntie Donna, my mom's sister, on projections for buying the land, then building a small house. Building wasn't his line of work, but finances were, so he would be invaluable in that area. "You know, you could do it without a mortgage, possibly," he said, slowly looking up from his piece of paper. "Really? Well, that's promising. I don't know how I'd get a mortgage. I have no credit to speak of, and no job at the moment." "You don't count writing?" "I don't know that the bank would. It's an uncertain income at best." "Your mother or I would have to co-sign the loan then, but it's possible we could get away without going through the banks at all." "Tell me more. I'm interested." "With your savings and your mother's and what Donna and I could chip in to loan you, you'd have enough to buy the land. If you're willing to wait a year or two to begin building, you could have some money saved. A small house wouldn't have to cost the earth. You could build as you can afford and finish it over time. The land is the main thing. Your mother tells me you're considering living in her old motorhome?" "Considering it? Do you think it's a doable plan?" "Just. With my plan of building over time, you might be in it quite a while. You'd have to winterize it. Fortunately, it's not a trailer that needs pulling, so you don't need to have a vehicle that can pull it. You can drive it where you need for filling and emptying the tanks. One of your biggest costs will be the septic field, but you wouldn't need that right away, living in a motorhome." "There's no water line to the property?" "Not yet." "Well, again, that's a cost you could save up for while you're living in the motorhome. You could fill your freshwater tank when you empty the other and get by that way. Not ideal, but doable. Little inconvenient, but you'd have to expect some inconvenience. It's got a decent little propane heater and stove and fridge. The older motorhomes aren't well insulated, but you'd manage all right. We'd just have to keep heat taping all the water lines so they don't freeze up. The only thing you'd need right away is power to the property. Kim tells me that shouldn't be the biggest expense. The power line runs by the property already. That's not too much of a problem, I think. We can look at it as part of the buying costs and budget it in. Right, then, yes, I think it's doable. I don't know how fast I could save for a new house, though. I'd want to get you and Auntie Donna and Ma paid back first. Nonsense! Ma interjected characteristically. As far as Donna and I go, we're not in any rush. The money's just sitting in the bank. You could give us a better rate of interest and still barely pay any. You're welcome to it interest-free anyway. And take your time. I'd rather see you living in a house on your own property than have the money back. Pay it back after you get your house finished. And as far as my part in it goes, it would all be yours someday anyway, so don't be silly, Ma said. I felt like I should protest the offers, but I didn't know what to say. I stood looking over the papers on the table, sheepishly in silence. Just say yes, Ma put in. Well, it really is the best solution, Uncle Jim said. If you change your mind or you meet some nice young man, you've always got a property to sell. Then you can pay us back. And if not, you'll have a beautiful spot and a perfect little house to live in that you designed yourself. And you can pay us back over time. Well then, thank you. A million thank yous. I don't know what to say. It's so generous. What you'd better say is, hello, Kim, I'd like to make an offer on that Eversley Road property. That's what you'd better say. Before it's too late, Uncle Jim advised. Right. I guess there's nothing else to say. I'll go see her today. And by today, I meant within the next minute or two. Having come this far, it would be heartbreaking to be too late. December 14th, 1897. Christmas is almost upon us. Our first Christmas in Canada. All has been inspired to take up whittling, inspired by the handiwork some of the men around here do in the winter. With the birth of our baby expected in May, he's working on a little set for the baby of woodland animals that inhabit our new land. With Christmas approaching, he's decided to carve them in clothing like little humans and turn them into Mary and Joseph and the Christ child, with all the other cast of characters that surrounded the Christ child's birth. I paint them in bright colours as he finishes each piece. They are darling, I think. All has turned out to have quite a talent, and I've always loved to paint. I'm so glad now that I insisted that my paints and easel were among the belongings I couldn't leave behind in England. They, and many of Father's books that he left me, have helped immensely in helping me feel settled. I've been getting out my easel and canvases and capturing the beautiful, pristine, white landscapes on canvas. There is still the excitement of a new life in a new land. But in winter, with the long nights and not as much activity during the day to keep my hand and my mind occupied, I do find tears occasionally coming. The promise of spring and a new baby to think of helped to quell the homesickness, as well as the handiwork Ole and I keep our minds and hands busy with. Without Ole and the baby, and kind neighbours and those other helps, I would otherwise feel desolate in my first Christmas away from England, and from Longsford, and from Mother, and the rest. Let us take so long to arrive. Gone are the days when we took for granted the morning and evening post dropping through the mail slot in our front door in Longsford. Now, we only get mail when we can make the drive into the nearest town with a post office, Fanshawe. There's talk of extending the rail line this far. It has been extended to other settlements, mostly where mining is the incentive. But, as of yet, there hasn't been any real progress on that front other than idle rumours. I do so dream of the train chugging its way through our area, bringing with it shops and hotels and such like. Imagine taking tea with a linen tablecloth and napkins and proper china again. Ole says he doesn't miss such signs of civilization, but I must confess, to my weakness, I do. Kim looked up from her computer when she saw me come in the office. "Hey, Ange," she called out informally. "Come on in, if you're here to see me, that is." "I am. Are you busy?" "Not overly. What's up?" Anything I can help you with? Still looking for a place to rent, or did you decide to go in a different direction? It's that property on Bow Street and Eversley Road, I confessed. I can't get it off my mind. My mom and I went to look at it, and we've been doing some figuring as a family, and we'd like to put in an offer on the place. Oh, Kim's face fell. I'm so sorry, Ange. I would have loved to sell you the place. Bad news, you're just a day too late. There's been an offer on it. I expect the owners to accept. Kim's face brightened slightly. It's a little lower than asking price, however. Do you feel up to a bidding war? I don't think I could, I said. I'm on a pretty fixed budget. It's my family's money, so I wouldn't want to ask them for more. We weren't thinking of offering asking price exactly. I also have to budget for putting in a power pole and running the electric line. Okay, well, why don't you leave your offer with me and I'll let the owners know they have 2 interested parties. Are your terms flexible at all? I swallowed hard. I could hardly believe it. The place had been on the market for weeks, and now 2 offers in it within 2 days? What were the odds? I don't know. I don't want to ask my Uncle Jim for more than he's offered. We weren't planning to bargain, just make a firm offer that we could afford. Okay, well, we'll see what the owners say. They haven't accepted the first offer yet, so there's still hope. I'll get back to you as soon as I hear anything. I nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat, and left the office. I could feel the tears starting. Apparently, I'd had my heart set on this pipe dream even more than I knew. But it had come so close to happening. I knew it wasn't over yet, but the voice of pessimism, which was really the voice of experience, told me what to expect. I wasn't going to get my perfect little place. Dreams were for other people, not for me. One big dream of my life had come true. Well, sort of. But even that one was letting me down. Maybe romance writing wasn't the kind of writing I'd always dreamed about doing, but writing for a living had been the dream. That one had turned out to be too good to be true after all. Didn't my dreams always go that same route? And now the dream house was going the way all my dreams did.